Good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of TalkSports, where we speak with the movers and shakers in sports, our sportsmen and sportswomen, as well as sports administrators of past and current. Well, this week, our special guest is former West Indies wicketkeeper batsman Junior Murray. Well, Junior is joining us live from Grenada, where we welcome and say good evening to you, Junior Murray. Good evening, Junior.
Good afternoon, Michael. Good to be here. Good to see you. I've been seeing you for a while.
Yes, yeah, I know. And should we say thanks to, or do we blame COVID, the pandemic? But it's nice seeing you. And how have you been coping along, Junior, with the pandemic and all that's happening around it?
Well, I've been doing pretty well. I'm not a person to be up and about that much, so staying indoors is not really a problem. I had a few rough times with the COVID for a few months. Just inside, no gym is open. I can't really get too much exercise in. That was mainly my problem. But all in all, I'm doing pretty fine. I'm thanking God for health and strength, the most important thing right now, and doing what I gotta do to stay safe, at least do the right things.
Right, and saying doing that you have to do, we have quite a lot to talk about, including as a former West Indies cricketer, you also former Windward Islands Grenada. You played cricket all over the world, as well as now you're deeply involved in coaching. You have your academy, and I included something there that I think as I was speaking just before the program, someone was asking me about whether Junior will actually be on the program. And they remarked to me that, ensure that Junior is on the program because Junior may be in the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my next home. But fortunately for me, I start my day pretty early, 5 in the morning.
5 in the morning.
So I'm usually in the gym 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 4 o'clock, I get organized and go to the gym for 5.
And that's a daily routine, eh?
That's a daily routine. Nothing has changed. Even in my playing days, nothing has changed. I'm still doing what I'm accustomed doing.
Well, we have
For
to make.
now, it's all about health and strength right now. I'm not actively playing anymore, so I got to look after God's temple.
Okay, well, that's good to know. But we'll have to talk a little more about that fitness because there's always a question about how you get to do what you do in terms of the fitness, the discipline. I mean, you have to share some of that with the folks, especially the younger folks, but let's, Junior, looking back at your cricket tenure, when you started playing for Grenada, you end up playing for West Indies, but even before that, there's always this talk about where you had to make a decision between playing cricket and playing football, you know.
Yes, yes.
And I always recall you at the GBSS and having this thing with Mr. Ashby, in terms of Ashby having to ask you to make up your mind, whether cricket, football, because this week Junior is playing cricket, representing Grenada, representing GBSS. Next week, he's, another sport. I mean, how were you able to make that balance and then finally make that ultimate decision to go to cricket?
Well, at least it was a tough decision. If you remember, if you remember the old Queens Park where is situated, I was playing a game, the GBSS versus Autumns, and the late Kenny Hobson, came to me and he asked me, Junior, is football or cricket? Which one you want to do? And from the time I decided to play cricket, one thing was on my mind. I wanted to play for West Indies, no matter what. So I made the firm decision I'm going to play cricket, and from there on, I never really looked back. I think it was the best decision I've made. I love my football, but at the time, football wasn't that big as cricket. There wasn't any forward movement in the football at the time. Being a goalkeeper, playing for Rangers, playing for River Road Youths, all those things. So I just decided that it's cricket, and I never looked back from then.
Wow. But it was a tough decision for you to make at that time because, I mean, even to the point where you were representing um, Grenada, both at
Yes,
the level, and at one point in time, you were both junior, you're playing both junior and senior football and cricket. Um,
yes, 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 yes.
so, I mean,
Well, as I said before,
It's tough.
the decision, it was a very tough decision, but I was looking at the big picture. Where could I move forward? Football at the time was, as I said before, was nothing happening much, and cricket was moving along a bit quicker. West Indies team was a big playing for Grenada, Women Islands, and then West Indies. So from the time, as I said before, I decided to play cricket, one thing was on my mind. I wanted to represent my country, Women Islands, and the big picture was West Indies, looking to wear that maroon cap. And that really motivated me to stick with the cricket and to do it to that passion as I still do up to this day.
Okay, so I mean, it's foolish of me asking you. No regrets, though.
No regrets, Michael. No regrets. No, 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 no regrets. I think it was the best decision of my life. It has changed my life a lot. The change it has. I made history. At least I made history for at least for my country, being a first Canadian to play for West Indies, and at least. And those are the things that you will never forget. That are the things that those are the decisions in life that you make that will always live with you, and live with you to the rest of your life.
Okay, Junior, you made your entry into West Indies cricket at a crucial time for West Indies, where they were looking to get someone for the retiring, well, let's say retiring at the time, Jeff Dujon, but you got into the wicket keeping role at a time when there were so many others. I mean, the Courtney Brown, then Jacobs came on after a while. Then I think was Williams from Trinidad was, probably on his, in the latter part of his time as well. What was the experience like, Junior, getting into the West Indies team at this crucial time in terms of the development, and especially where you were not alone? It was a challenging period for even West Indies wicketkeepers.
Yeah, it was a very challenging period, a very very challenging period. I had to keep performing at a very high level, at the regional level, playing for Women Islands, keep performing with both bat and glove. At the time, my glove work was up there. At least I was named the ninja. Take doing spectacular things behind the stumps. And then I was selected in 1992 to go to Australia. David Williams was the first choice wicketkeeper at the time. Me being there as a young kid, was so excited to be in there. Wasn't expected to play at the time, but no, but I was there. I was excited playing among the big boys, the Ambrose, the Walsh, the Brian Lara, the Carl Hoopers, all those guys, and it was a learning experience. My at least Courtney Walsh was my roommate. I had some nice talks with him. Brought me nicely. Patrick Patterson, those guys. Took me in the arms, put the Ambrose. Being the warm person that I am. They all welcome me in the team, and if you remember when I made my debut, the night before I made my test debut, I couldn't believe it when I heard my name called to play a test match. I was never expected to be playing test cricket at the time. I was just excited to be on the team, even I have to carry the guys back, clean the shoes. I was just excited just to be there on the West Indies team. I think my dream came true. I was just happy to be there, not expecting to play. But when the time came, when I got my chance, I grabbed it with both hands, and it's history from there on.
Mhm. Well, it was in fact the third test, I think, at the Sydney Cricket Ground. That is when you actually make your debut.
Yes, made my
Um,
debut. Yes,
can you recollect? I mean, you spoke about getting that opportunity, but can you recollect the
yes.
actual?
I was in shock. I couldn't believe I was playing Test cricket. And being out there, Sydney, Australia, big crowd. I've never played in with so much people looking at me in any sport. And being behind the stumps there. Ian Bishop went into bowl to Mark Taylor, and then I collected my first ball behind the stumps, and I said to myself, Junior, this is a real thing now. You're there. And when I got my first catch, Ian Bishop and the Mark Taylor caught behind Junior Murray. I said, well, this is the start of a thing now, Junior. You're in there now. You just gotta relax and do it to the best of your ability.
Mhm. It has been a rough time for you, Junior, on and off at times, junior career, junior tenure with West Indies cricket. What would you considered your regrets, during that time, what it is you think you probably could have done better?
Well, I think probably my at least at the time we could keep him was up there, but I think my batting could have been much better. It came on I think late in my career, but I think if I had batted properly, but batted well early up in my career, probably I think it would have been a much easier ride. Because at the time there was so many keepers around, as I said before, the David Williams, the Courtney Brown, the Willie Jacobs. Being a glove man, at least you have to put some runs behind your back at the time. The competition was stiff. So you could be keeping pretty well, but you have to produce with the bat, make runs, and then probably you can see into place. But I think it came a bit late in my career, but still, I still have no regrets.
Mhm. And yes, we talk about regrets, but in terms of positiveness, positivity, what it is you think you would have taken away from playing for West Indies cricket over the years?
You want to repeat again? You want to repeat again, Michael?
Yeah, I'm saying what it is you will consider that you took away from playing cricket for West Indies, representing the West Indies, in terms of positiveness, that
Well,
probably you will live with for, you know, a period of time, and
well,
not only
well,
that, but something
I
that you
think
can
just
share
being
with others.
selected.
Hmm.
I think just being selected to play for West Indies as the first we need, and I think it's something that will live with me at least for the rest of my life. At least
Well,
represent my country. With my dream came true to play for the West Indies,
well,
to perform
if you was the first,
at a
you'll
very
always
high level.
You'll always be the first, eh?
The first will always be the first. As my good friend, the late, not the late, but the present, the governor, Timothy Anton always tell me, say, Junior, you are the first, and no one can take it away from you. You are the first, and that will remain with you forever. You are the first, and the first is the first. And I think I will cherish that, and I'm in a stage now whereby I'm just helping each others now to accept the dream and make a dream come true.
Mhm. Junior, looking back to over the years, what would you consider? I mean, you're not actively playing, so I assume you can free to speak about those issues in terms of the development of West Indies cricket over the years. Your time in the '90s there to what we are seeing now, in terms of commitment, in terms of discipline, in terms of application. What are the comparisons?
Well, I think it's a big comparison. We were playing in the 90s with the guys like Ambrose, the Walls, the Laras, and so forth. At least it's something, the pride and the passion for the game. I think we are missing out now. Looking at the cricket now, I'm not really seeing the fight, the guys as we used to in the past. And if you remember the test match we bowled on England for 46 in Trinidad, the guys have this in mind that England not supposed to beat West Indies at all costs. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna go for the kill. That passion those guys and that pride those guys played with before. I think we need to get back that in our cricket.
And not leaving out the aspect of fitness. I know it's something you always want to speak about, fitness. Because I'm saying that to Junior because earlier in the program, probably about 2 months ago, we had Andre Fletcher and Preston McSween and Ryan John and others. And even Raw Lewis at one point in time in his program too also made mention of, you know, the fitness and your level of fitness and your commitment to that. Let's talk a little more about it, and especially as it relates to West Indies cricket, the fitness of our players. What it is, Junior, it takes to remain fit, to maintain that level of fitness, to maintain that discipline as well, you know, to for the fitness level. Because even Andre Fletcher and Preston McSween, who, by the way, on their way now to New Zealand to represent the West Indies, they actually had to go through a fitness session, I understood, before they could have been announced as part of the team. So let's talk about the fitness, especially for West Indies cricket.
But personally, I think as a professional player, I think fitness should be something you love to do, something you want to do, and something you have to do. I mean, as you said now, right? In my playing days, we didn't have as they have now. That the yo-yo test where they have to pass level 40 to get on to be selected to play for West Indies. But in my time, fitness was just a joy. You know, with playing with the likes of Carl Hooper, Keith Atherton, we used to if training starts at 8 o'clock, we go down to the ground at 7 o'clock, an hour before, run 15, 20 laps, train with the team after. And then we still run back to the hotel. We don't want to take the bus. It's just something that we love doing, and the pride we put in our game, But I just think that no, you have to be on the guy's back to keep fit. As a professional right now, you're playing so much cricket right now. T20s around the world, test matches, one internationals. So much cricket is being played. So I think you yourself have to look after yourself. Because when you're on international stage, you want to make sure your standard of performance is up there. In my job sometimes we are humans. But you want to make sure it's up there. I remember in my playing days, playing with all those guys, and when the Indian play against India and so forth, and the Indians see us, they wonder, wow, these guys look so fit. And look now, the Indians are ahead of us. So they are doing what we used to do before. If you look at the Kohlis and those guys are super fit. You know. So I think it's something as a professional you have to want to do. Don't wait for the coach to tell you to run 10 laps. If the coach says you run 10, you can run 15 because you're ahead of the coach of the coach. So it's something you have to have in you, want to do, and do it with passion because you want to make sure that your performance is up there. Because once you're fit, everything works properly. Your brain function better, your body function properly, everything works together. So keeping fit should be part of you as a professional.
And you think it's something that Windies cricket should try to institute a little more of the fitness in
Yeah, I
terms
think,
of.
and I think they are doing a very good job at it right now because if you remember a few months ago when I had Myers and so forth was not selected because of lack of fitness, and that tells you the level that they are at now. They take fitness as a very very serious things right now. So the guys have to keep the game up. Because once you're not fit, I think you tend to lose a bit on your salary. So the guys don't want to lose any money right now. So they go all out. They make sure that the level of fitness is up there.
And is that something you have been advocating for, even at the level of local cricket in terms of Grenada?
Well, I think probably locally not. I don't think it's done as yet, but I think it will be coming soon because it's at the international level. So you have to make sure the guys are fit and ready. Once selected, that they can run 14 or yo-yo. You don't want to be falling short. 50, 45, 50. You should be doing that very, very easy. And the training these days, walking along with the volcanoes, at this present time, I think we are one of the fittest team around right now, I think.
Okay, talking about working along with the volcanoes. Let's talk a little more about that. How have you been going? What have you been doing with the volcanoes team? I know they're based actually in Grenada, right?
Yeah, the volcanoes are based in Grenada. They're based in Grenada. As you all know, it's a professional setup. It's a franchise, one of volcanoes franchise based in Grenada. I think we are very fortunate. We are very lucky to have the volcanoes based here because it's an opportunity for our players and to get a chance. And me being, walking along with the volcanoes, walking alongside the head coach Angie Richardson, I think I'm learning. Given opportunity by the GCA to with the volcano, walk along with the volcanoes. I think it's an opportunity I'm going to grab with both hands because at least I love to step up my game in the coaching. I think I'm at a level 2, so I'm trying to get to the level 3 and further. So it's a learning experience. It's an opportunity for our Grenada cricketers because at the moment the the program to run by the Ministry of Sports, whereby we have a group of elite cricketers, whereby the government looks after the training alongside the volcanoes, and they've been taken care of. The likes of Preston Maxwell went there on that program. Josh Thomas, Roland Cato, Ryan John, all those guys went through that program and they move up the ladder. So I think it's an opportunity for our young guys, elite cricketers now, to walk along the volcanoes, whereby they can improve the cricket and take it from one level to the next.
Yeah, I think I heard it right that you are at level 2 now in terms of coaching, and
Yes.
you're looking to move further. Your ultimate goal is coaching at the regional level.
Well, you got to start somewhere. So at least probably coach at the local level first. You got to do your homework first. You got to work at home first. Then move along to Women Island level, then regional level, and then to the international level. So it's a process, So it's a slow process, but at least I'm doing what I love and doing what I love with a passion. So it doesn't matter how long it takes me. At least once I get there and opportunity being given to me by the GCA to walk along with the volcanoes, I think is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm talking about doing what you love and a passion and coaching. There is the Junior Murray Cricket Academy. Let's talk a little more about the academy, how it has been going.
Well, the academy been going pretty well. It's about 6, 7 years going along now. It's based at the everyone we know the Tanti Recreational Ground or the Royston John playing field, and it's something I been dreaming of to do when I was playing and when I'm finished now. So I'm fully involved with the kids right now. I started kids from at least from 3, 4, 5 years come up to about 15, 16. You know, teach them all the basic stuff. We teach them from small, all the basics, all the basic of the game. Not only cricket skills, lifestyle is very important to discipline, respect. We teach them everything. And I got some good guys around me, the likes of Randall John, who's one of my top coach. He's doing a pretty good job. I think I'm very fortunate to have him. Him being a teacher and he's been able to work along with the kids very nicely. I think he's doing a fantastic job with the academy and the academy is moving forward. We got a few kids that went on to play for Grenada under 15 team and it's a pity this year the COVID came along that some of them get a chance to represent the Women Islands. But these things happen. And where the academy is concerned, I will say to some of my sponsors, people like Digicel, Coop Bank, Georgia Foggins, Century 21, all these people really come along with me and help me to make this academy a dream come true.
And both boys and girls in the academy.
Yes, both at least the mainly boys at the time, but there are a few girls trickling in now. At least some of the since after the COVID and we started back, they find that some of the young ladies are coming in now. They want to learn the game. They're interested in learning the play because at least probably they can see that there's a life for them playing women's cricket. As you can see, in Grenada we have only Afi Fletcher at the moment playing for West Indies. So we hope that we can produce more and produce more for West Indies cricket.
And I mean, after 6 years junior, obviously there will be those who would have graduated from the program already out of the program. Anyone in particular you probably can make mention of who would have come through the academy?
Well, we have the one I started with for the first time, Jelani. Jelani is he's the nephew of Kian George. He's the one he's the one that represented Grenada first and on the under 15 level. Went on, graduated, played for St. George's, Grenada St. George's senior team, and so there are others that played for Grenada this year, like Justin John and so forth, played for Grenada. He's from Victoria, St. Mark's up there, and he's doing pretty well. He's playing for St. Mark's senior team at the moment. And unfortunately, he has to come up against St. George's on Saturday in the GCS Super 50 to play against my team, which I think, it should be a very good encounter.
And you said you used the word unfortunately. Unfortunately, because it's something that we have to talk about because it's part of your coaching, Junior, because you also coaching at the local level. I know you said that there's a process in terms of as a
Yeah,
level
yeah,
two coach.
I'm doing at the local level because you got to start there. You got to creep before you walk, as you can say. You got to creep before you walk. So I've been
Yeah.
doing it at the local level for a very long time and
Mhm.
representing St. George's, walking along with the St. George's team, the Upsetters cricket team, all those teams in St. George's. So I will assist in whatever way I can with any level.
Mhm. And
Because
and the
once you do
te-
what you love and you ask to help along, it's not a problem because you're doing what you love.
and you will have a test this weekend when you come up against St. Mark, right?
Well, yes, it could be a test, but I think it's going to be an easy test, Mikey. I think we're gonna take care of some marks. I think it's a good encounter. It will be streaming live, and also I think people out there, can come and switch on, get a link and switch on and have a look at some good cricket.
Yeah, just to give the Cricket Association a plug, on Saturday it will be St. George versus St. Mark in that
Yes.
semi-final, and the winner plays St. David, right?
Yes, St.
Right.
David's at National Stadium, yes.
In the final the following day, right?
Following day, yes, yes.
So you basically have a back-to-back.
I'm back to
Hopefully,
back here. I think the guys up for it.
no.
They're ready.
Let's say
So
hopefully.
that we can get in the final so we can
Yeah.
take good care of St. David. I think it's a rivalry
Mhm.
between St. George and St. David, I think, So I'm looking forward to the encounter. And
Right.
I hope that we can have some good cricket so that the world can really see what's happening in Grenada,
Yeah.
cricket wise.
Do you have any members of the Volcanoes team that will be
Yes,
in your lineup?
on the St. George's team we have Kotai. Yeah, he's playing for St. George's. We had Demba, but unfortunately he's back to St. Vincent. He has a death in his family, so he had to return back to St. Vincent. So it's Kotai and Demba, and on the St. Mark's team we have Kevin Hodge and Milius to deal with. But we're going to take care of them. Unfortunately, my boy Preston had to go to New Zealand. We're looking forward to that encounter, but at the end of the day, he's on the bigger picture. He's out there representing West Indies, so we have to win for him.
Mhm.
We have other sides, four sides. We have other young other guys that can do the job for us.
But it's good, Junior, and you will agree to see that one, the Cricket Association at least getting something back on the calendar in terms of cricket, although it's limited because of the protocol, and two, getting the Volcanoes players to get some valuable match practice as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think the GC are doing a fantastic job cricket wise. I think they're doing whatever they can to get cricket played. I think hopefully probably after the Super 50, there might be another tournament coming up. You never know. I think all kudos goes to Mr. Gale, the president, who's a lover of cricket and he wants to see cricket played and played in Grenada. They can showcase the players, showcase our country. Because we are now, we are streaming live, you know. So I think they're doing a fantastic job, and I wish them all the best in the future.
Okay, then let's get to some comments now, Junior. Um, there's one comment from Rafael Chaitan. He says, Ninja, well, referring to you, in my opinion, you're the best behind Ian Healy. As you say, your batting let you down, blaming Waka. You agree with that? Waka unit?
Yeah, I think so. I think Waka was whenever Waka saw me, Waka is he sees to see that one in the bag because as we all know before, Junior used to like to play across the line of the ball. So what Waka have to come and do is to bullet straight and fast, hit me in front, and I'm inside, back inside. I can remember playing a test match in Trinidad. I brought my mom to see me play, and unfortunately, I got a pair, both innings. For Waka Yunus again, hitting me in front, playing across the line. So all the best to Waka.
All right. And then a good friend of yours, Keith Fletcher, an excellent cricketer and one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen. You remember Keith Fletcher, the former Grenada
Yeah,
footballer?
footballer.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. I remember him very well. Good to
Yeah.
see him. Good to see him now. Good to hear from him now. Wherever you are, Keith.
Mhm.
Kudos. And at least uh, anyone knows me before. Football was my first love, as I said before. But cricket came along, took away my first love. I still love my football. I still support my Manchester United. You know, and I don't miss a game. But you know, cricket came along and took away everything from the football.
Mhm. Do you still have the urge to play competitive, Junior? Whether it's football or cricket, do you still have the urge? I mean, based on your
So,
fitness level.
football, I might play like over 40 or like over masters, go in the goal and have a bit of fun of it. A few years ago I did it, playing for Rangers Masters in a local competition. But at least I think I did my best. I still might play like over 40 Masters cricket. I still do a bit of it, and during I normally have my like a charity game. Sometimes my birthday come along, and sometimes I do a bit of cricket too. I still go behind the stumps, and I still feel good about it. And I love it. So when I go there, even though it may pass my time, but I still want to do it to the best of my ability. Still look good behind the wicket and make sure that. I keep that name Junior Murray Ninja intact.
Mhm. What's the sort of relationship you have, Junior, with some of the former um, West Indies cricketers? I know you mentioned Courtney Walsh as your former roommate, but
Yes,
who are
yes.
the
My first
others that you have been keeping in touch with, and you have that sort of continuous rapport with?
Yeah, yeah, I have a good rapport with those guys still. Recently I spoke to my good friend Courtney Ambrose. The Richie Richardson, the Courtney Walsh, all those guys, the Brian Lyles. All those guys. I still keep in touch with them. Whenever I have my little event, my charity game and so forth, I call them up you know, and they will come. 'Cause I think I'm not a bad person. I think I'm just a humble Canadian. Doing what I love. So I think we have a good relationship with all those guys, even up to this day.
Mhm. And what's about the move by Cricket West Indies, and well, some have been clamoring for it, and to some extent, well, they have extended that olive branch to others. The involvement of legends like yourself and those around your era being involved and directly involved in cricket in the West Indies, even at the territorial levels, the board levels.
I think I think it's a very good idea. At least probably no, probably some of the young kids might think we are a bit old school, but I think our love for the game, our love for West Indies cricket, we have to try and in whatever way we can bring it along to the youngsters, show the youngsters, talk to them about everything. You know, so I think we've been involved, you know, with the different franchises, the different teams and stuff. I think it's a very good thing by Cricket West Indies. And like even being around with the volcano, sometimes I give the guy my little stories. Sometimes we still talk. I give them like advice here and there. Do whatever you do and do to the best of your ability. You know, so I think it's a very good move, and I think that we being involved with the franchises can be an improvement to West Indies cricket.
Okay. Two more comments again coming in. Michael Ashby is saying, "Hey Junior, good to see you. Congrats on all your accomplishments. To always admire your dedication to fitness." And then your good buddy over in Dominica, Kentish, Thomas
Yeah.
Kentish, respect big man. I know.
Well, I must say good night to Thomas. Good night to Thomas Kentish. He's my good buddy. He's my father figure playing for Windward Islands. We are still very good friends. We are still very close friends. And we still keep in touch. Michael Ashby. Wow, it's a long time I haven't heard you. Good to hear. And I don't want to be redundant, but I still what I want to say. I'm just doing what I love. I just doing you know whatever I can for cricket. For my country. For the young ones, which I really love to do, which I really love to see the guys move forward. It gives me so much joy to see the youngsters moving forward, playing for Windward Islands, playing for West Indies. Even as Preston Maxwell is already now, Andrew Fletcher, all those guys. It just give me a joy to see them guys already now representing not only West Indies, but when they go there, Grenada is on the map. And I know they're going to represent our country very well in West Indies.
Mhm. Well, getting back to the big man there, Thomas Kentish. I know. A few years ago, where you see Thomas Kentish, you see Junior Murray and Trevor Thwaites. Those
I
were the
know, I
guys
know.
we always lived together. But you know, Kentish is one who has remained a good friend of yours. I know he will stop by prior to COVID and things like that. So he'll stop by in Grenada every time he gets the chance. But Windward Islands cricket in particular, I want to say, and you would agree, Junior, would have created this sort of friendship among these guys in the islands over the years. Long lasting friendships.
Yeah, I think so. I think and those guys are guys that love what they do also. I think Thomas Kentish is a guy that took me in his arms from a very tender age. Playing for Windward Islands, playing against Thomas Kentish was always a battle. I was, love playing against those guys because especially Dominica, they're so very competitive. You know, they have you batting spin for the whole day, 2 hours of pace, and they have to be able to bat spin. And I think those guys did a good job for their country and also for Windward Islands cricket. And they're still doing it. I think Thomas Kentish in Dominica is he's with the youths, I think we are in the same boat. We love the kids. I love the kids also. And we just making a contribution to our country to see that we can produce young ones that can represent very well.
Yeah, well, Chaitan is coming back with another comment again, remembering watching him in Queen's Park for Windward Islands, keeping up to the likes of Ian Allen, Coffey, Davis, and McLean, making them look like spinners. I assume those are the Vincentian fast bowlers, right?
Yeah, I think it was part of my wicket keeping that I really, really love keeping up with the wicket fast bowlers. Keeping the batsmen in the crease, keeping them quiet. I think if you remember a few years back, I think my best stumping is off of Ian Allen in Barbados, stumping the wooden holder down the leg side, hitting one bail. I think from there on, the name Ninja, everyone had me to play for West Indies team, and I get lucky with the fast bowlers. Put pressure on the batsmen. You know, and it's just something I really really love doing. Unfortunately, no, I'm not really seeing that in cricket now. I'm not really seeing the young wicket keepers going up to the fast bowlers. Sometimes the pitch are very slow and they're still standing back. I'm wondering why. But it's something I enjoy doing and I love doing. If I get a chance again, I will still keep doing it.
Mhm. And something about Grenada and wicket keeping, and I assume it will probably point to Junior Murray, because when you look at Andre Fletcher, Emmanuel Stewart, there is Dennis Smith, I think, can do a little wicket keeping. There's so many others I know of who actually have been doing wicket keeping.
Well, I can go further back, at least. I see him every day. We talk all the time. If you remember Harold Williams,
Yeah, Flash. Well, I know
Flash,
Flash. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that in my time growing up as a kid,
Mhm.
I used to be a youngster going in the old Queen's Park and sitting down on the bleachers and watching Harold Williams, Flash Williams. I think the wicketkeeper that I keep telling him every day that he's the best thing I've ever seen behind a stump. Even goalkeeping. I think Harold Williams is a name that I think we forget, and a name I think is a name that we should bring back. I think he really really was a top line wicketkeeper batsman, and I think fitness was one of his thing also. Even up to this day in his retirement state, I think he still do some fitness work. Plays golf. He's always playing golf now. Probably I see him jogging in the morning time. You know. So I think it's a name that we should try and remember. Harold Flash Williams. I think he was one of the best thing I've ever seen behind the stump.
Well, you actually jumped the board because Clev was just asking what is Junior's opinion on Flash Williams, who, in my opinion, had all the great ingredients to make a West Indies team. Was it
I think he
focus?
had he had everything. Unfortunately, he probably came at the wrong time, but I think he was one of the best wicketkeepers I've ever seen. I'm
Mhm.
not too sure if he played for Women Islands because I think at the time Ignatius Scally was playing. So I'm not too sure if he played for Women Islands at the time, but I think he's
Either
best.
Windward or Combined Islands. So yeah, something. Yeah, I think as if his name was associated with Windward Islands at some point in
Yeah,
time. You know, yeah. Toro is actually saying, agree, Junior. Flash is a natural all round talent. And as you said, both in football and cricket. So I guess
yes,
you are now pointing to your interests and your motivation from Flash, right?
yes. I think he's one of the best thing I've ever seen growing up as a youngster. As I said before, used to go watch him play for Grenada as a youngster. I think he was the prettiest thing behind the stump, neat, whatever he does. Even if you look at him play win ball, he's up behind the stumps doing his thing. So I think, as I said before, it's a name that we should remember and probably something should be done. I think Harald has made his mark. He has done his best for his country, but I think that we should do something to remember Harald Flash Williams.
Mhm. What advice would you give to those youngsters up and coming, especially who are, well, in some cases, wicket keepers or intend to be a wicket keeper?
To me, any youngsters, any coming up right now, any sport, I think, first of all, you gotta love what you do. If you don't love what you do, it doesn't make any sense. You have to set your goals. Love what you do, set your goals, and work towards them. And not just work, but work hard. Sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone, do things you're not used to doing. You know, because I keep asking the guys a question: what does it take to become a world class cricketer? Not just a cricketer, but a world class cricketer. And it's not an easy job. You gotta keep doing different things. Keep working on your game, keep doing all different aspects, making sacrifices. Keep doing working on specific skills. Get bored doing what you love. Just get bored if you're working on a cut shot. Get bored working on a cut shot. If you're driving, get bored doing it. Do it over and over and over again until you master it. And that's how you're going to be. Not just a cricketer, but a world class cricketer, a
Mhm,
world class sportsman.
mhm. And you did you add the discipline?
Well, that's the key word. Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
key word. Discipline. Yeah, discipline is another key word. You gotta, like I said before, make sacrifices. And discipline is one of the key words. And that's one of the key words of the academy too. Discipline and respect. Like I
Mhm,
think these two words will take you anywhere a plane can take you. Discipline and respect.
mhm.
Are the two key words in whatever you're doing.
Junior, how do you get the attention and the focus of these youngsters at your academy in com- when we look at the distractions out there, computer, the internet, social media, all these things? How do you able to get them and not just get them to focus, but get them to come and remain focused in the during the academy?
But I think the kids love the cricket. When you get a kid coming out at the academy at 3, 4 years, even 5 years old, and you see the skill of the kid and the love for what the kid do. You know, I think it's just the love. I think they love the cricket. With all the distractions over there, I think the love for the cricket. But sometimes the academy is from 10 to 12, and we finish at 12, and the kids don't want to go home. They'll go back in the net, pick up a bat, do some bowling, do some catching, and I just sit there. It really amazes me to see the way the kids love what they do. They come on a Saturday. Sometimes rain is coming, and the kids will still come. They have fun with what they're doing. I think they love what they're doing, and I think with the coaches I have around me too, the warmth and everything, with the likes of as I said, my one of my coaches around there who's a teacher and he knows how to deal with the kids. So I think that's that one of the key points. No matter all the distractions around, I think we try to keep the kids focused on what they're doing, and we try to make them feel that it's not only the academy, but it's different stages in life, different steps they have to make. One day you're gonna be at academy, you're gonna play for under 15, you're gonna play for under 19, you're gonna sing at you. Just small steps you have to make. I want you to do the right thing, be disciplined on what you do, and love what you do. All depends on the bigger step. You're gonna get to the bigger step, which is the West Indies cricket team.
Okay, we have a comment from the president of the Grenada Cricket Association, Dwayne Gill, a bit long, but I think it's important for me to put it on the screen and read it, because he's saying that Junior Murray continues to make a tremendous contribution to Grenada, Windward's, and West Indies cricket after his playing days. He has been involved with all of Grenada's national teams and now graduated to the regional level with the Windward's Volcanoes. Many of the ex West Indies players talk about not being asked to help. With Junior, one does not have to ask. He's always around, especially at the grassroots level, where these ex players are needed most. I commend Junior for his dedication. That's from Dwayne Gill, the president of the Grenada Cricket Association and also a director of Cricket West Indies. Junior?
Well, I guess probably I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I think Mr. Gill, I think he probably know he knows what he's saying. At least I'm always around. I'm always around, Michael. I'm always around. As I say, I love the cricket. I want to see guys go forward. I give it my all, no matter what. You know. So it's just a love. It's just a love. It's just a love for the cricket and being around the guys. Sharing my little stories with them, having a fun with them, laughing with them. You know. It make me feel part of them. From the grassroots level, come up to the senior level. I'm there. Whatever level it is, I have to make a contribution. I will make the contribution because I think cricket has done a lot for me, and I think I can help others, you know, to to make a contribution also. So I just love it, And I love being around the cricketers, and I love seeing them happy. I love, as I said before, sharing my stories with them and everything. And so we just want love.
Mhm. I think we may have touched on that, John, earlier. But your question, I've still put it to Junior. What did Junior regret not doing more to make him a better player?
And I said before, probably putting my runs on the board, my batting could have been better, But it came late in my career. It came very late in my career. At least I have a test 100. I have a double 100 in the first class, all the first class level. So I think I could have scored a bit more runs. But as I said, I learned a bit late. Yeah, it's late in my 30s, my runs. I started to produce runs. But these things happen, and I'm at a stage now where I'm helping others not to make the same mistake that I made.
Junior, I've asked other cricketers and Grenadian cricketers about that. Given the number of cricketers, Grenadian cricketers we have, and especially those who can, make it onto the regional side, I'm talking about Windward Islands in particular. Do you think we are at the stage where Grenada probably can think about, put a little focus on probably a little franchise to give these additional cricketers more opportunity to play cricket?
I think so, Michael. I think so, Mike. I think we have a load of talented cricketers in Grenada. I think we can form our own CPL team. I think so. You know, and I probably mentioned that to the boss before, to the boss himself. I think we can, if we get some people to come on board, get some business places to come on board, we can have a Grenada CPL team. We have a lot of talented guys. We have five, six, seven test players, regional players, a lot of players. And right now we have some couple guys right now that they're so talented from the Ryan John, the Teddy Bishop, all those youngsters, the Emmanuel Stewart, all those guys are ready to go to the next level. So I think that's probably something we can look into as a country, and we can put ourselves on the map.
Yeah. Ah, let's get some comments again from the board. It seems as if Flash is playing on the minds of quite a few. You raised something there. But Toro is saying because Flash was so naturally talented, it seemed that he wasn't hardworking as a sportsman. Some people will call it not being disciplined enough because he was that talented. Clev Deputy is saying Flash was pretty as a goalkeeper too. Don't think he took any seriously. That may have been his obstacle. Saw him last April in Spice shining his white Lexus, still flashing that signature smile. Yeah, and your neighbor Joycelyn Macmillan is saying hello,
Yeah,
Junior.
yeah, that's my big sister. That's my not my blood sister, but my big sister. Nice to hear you, Joycelyn. It's been a long time.
Right.
You can send me on WhatsApp message, Joycelyn.
And for those who know, that's Joycelyn from River Road, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joycelyn Monroe, yes,
yeah,
my neighbor, my big
yeah,
sister.
yeah. Very much so. So, Junior, so going back to the whole issue of the West Indies cricket, I know you cleared up that issue, and in fact, John is actually saying thank you for the response in terms of the your what you considered to be what you could have done more to make you a better player in West Indies cricket. But as it is now, in terms of our young players going into West Indies cricket and hoping to cement their place, the Preston McSween, for example, well, Andre is there more so on the limited overs, and but Shimon Lewis, the bowler, mainly bowlers I can think of now in terms of Preston and Shimon, but others who are looking to get onto West Indies team. What sort of advice would you give them to ensure that if they do get on, how they can maintain their place on the West Indies team?
Well, at least keep working hard. We have the likes of Emmanuel Stewart, who is very close. On the 19 captain, he won on 19 World Cup. We have now the young Teddy Bishop. I think he's an excellent and a young talent where batting is concerned. As I said before, the Sherman Lewis, we have the Ryan John, all those guys, the Roland Catos, all those guys that, and now we have Preston McSween, who is in New Zealand now. But I think we, as a batsman, you cannot, as a batsman, you cannot keep scoring 20s, 30s. You got to score 120, 130s. You know, you got to, we can't knock on the door anymore. We have to break down the door at this time now. We have to break down the door. We got to put the runs on the board. We got to take wickets. You know, we got to, keep that performance at a very, very high level. Keep working hard, be disciplined in what you do, love what you do. I want you to do that, I think. Things will happen for Grenada. Like, I think we have a lot of time to get young cricketers around now. So I think that once they do that, I think we can see more players moving on moving on to the West Indies team. We even have a young fast bowler, Josh Thomas. I think he's one of our excellent young fast bowlers, along with the Ryan John and Sherman Lewis. So I think that we have players. We have a lot of players. So we just can't knock on the door anymore. But we got to go there and perform and break down the door and get ourselves on the world stage.
Mhm. What's about women's cricket? I know once upon a time you were assisting the women's Afi Fletcher and others, but so far we see only Afi that has been able to maintain a presence. I know Akira Peters had an injury that may have affected
Yes.
her in terms of maintaining a place, but in terms overall of women's cricket in Grenada.
Yeah, I think we need to get an injection in the women's cricket. I think, as you said, only Afi Fletcher we has on the international stage. Akira Peters with an injury, she's out of the cricket for a while. But we have some young talented ones coming up. We have the Taylors. We have a few young ones. You know, so I think we need to find a way. Because I took on my own and I pulled some of them to the academy and I had to tell them, come to the academy, keep working on your cricket. There's a life for you, there's a career for you in women's cricket. So at the moment I have a few of the young girls who play for Grenada, you know, to come into the academy, working on the game, so that when the time come along, that they can represent themselves well and represent our country well. But I think we need to go to the schools. We need to go to the primary, the secondary schools where women love the cricket and do something. Probably through the Ministry of Sports, have like a competition, softball competition with them, and then we take it in strides because we need women cricket to go to the next level. If you look at the West Indies team right now, I think that the women that play for the West Indies team right now, I think they're very comfortable. There's not much competition out there for them. So I think we need to get women's cricket in the region, get some injection in it whereby that we can really see women's cricket going to the next level.
Okay, well, that's good to hear, and we hope that Afi sooner or later Afi Fletcher will have some company.
Yeah, well, I think that's the main thing. That she's already all alone from Grenada, so I hope that Akira is not there anymore. So I hope that we can have some other players coming along and really performing at whatever competition, whatever level competition they have, and really making a name for themselves and putting Grenada on the map again to women's cricket.
Right, that's good to know. And just staying not just on women's, but staying on the youth cricket, and I know that a lot of focus have been placed by the Grenada Cricket Association in terms of the under 15s, the age group. You know, um, how that has been impacting the senior level in terms of getting these youngsters into the from the under 15 into the under 19s and then to the senior team.
But as we see, we got competition. We got on the 15 competition. We got on the 19 competitions. So I think once the guys perform at any level, I think they can get onto the senior team. Because if you look at as I said, young Teddy Bishop, he played for Grenada at a very tender age. He went to sevens with the national team and he represented very well. So I think that Teddy is there, and once they keep performing, I think they can get onto the senior level. It's just different stages, different. We have to take it in strides.
And the current well, let's say interparish, because I don't know the correct name, but the interparish that is going into the semi-final, the next semi-final stage on the weekend, and then the final. Um, what is the ultimate objective of this in terms of players coming out of the competition. Mind it though that you're using some of the franchise players, the Windward Islands
Yes.
Volcano players, but obviously giving our local players an opportunity to perform at a higher level as well.
But I think it's an opportunity for some of our local cricketers to play alongside some of our first class cricketers. I think it's an opportunity for our local guys also to perform and get onto the national team. But once you get onto the national team, the chance that you can get onto the Women's Volcanoes.
Mhm.
So I think it's a very serious competition. Once you perform there, I think it's selectors are watching, so you can make an impact. It's not no joke cricket, it's serious cricket, at least once you perform, performance always speaks for itself. So no matter who you are, you have to perform. So once you perform at any level, any competition, I think it's an opportunity for you to move to a different level with your career.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Junior, we see how much time that has passed already. Just 5 minutes remaining, but we have to get in some more on the whole fitness. Junior, give us an idea how it is or what it is for Junior Murray on a daily basis in terms of this fitness. And I'm saying that to the point to Junior that over the years, even if you travel, you somehow found a way to get to a gym to do some sort of fitness, and it comes back again to the discipline and the focus and all of that. But give us an idea of what it is like for Junior Murray on a daily basis in terms of the fitness.
Well, for me, on a daily basis, at least my day will starts. I go to bed very early, between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. I go to bed, I get my rest, and by 2 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. I'm up by 3 o'clock in the morning, getting myself organized, leave the house at about 4 4:30, to get to the gym for 5. I might live close to the gym, but I will go there, probably do my jogging before I get to do a bit of weight training. But I think the cardiovascular is very important. The jogging is important also, not only weights. So I do it on a regular basis. I do it on an everyday basis. I do it Monday to Friday. I rest on a weekend. On a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, I do a fitness class, which I call Junior Murray Digital Junior Murray Training Scene, or remain the same. I do it at the Old Trafford, at the Old Trafford playing field in Tantine, whereby it's from 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock, 1 hour of full body weight exercises, jogging, all different kind of exercises we do. So I've been doing it for over a period of time. It's not something I just do, because I do it because I love it. I try to help people wherever I can, because I think fitness is a very serious thing. I think if you look at the world today, there's so much sickness out there. There's so much diseases. I'm not going to say we're not going to get sick and die at some point, but I think we have to look after ourselves. We have to look after our God temple, and I think if we do that, I think that we can see ourselves. We don't have to live forever, but we can have a healthy life down the road. So I think if we look after our bodies, I think get our rest. I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker. I try to do the right things as eating is concerned. So I think all that helped me, and I love myself. I love myself. I like to see myself looking prim and proper. So I do it, and I do it with a love. You know, at least I'm 52 right now, and people might say, Junior, you're not looking like 52, but at least that don't come easy. It comes with a lot of sacrifices, a lot of discipline when you eat, when you drink, the time you eat, the time you drink, when you sleep, and all those kind of things. So love what you do, look after God temple, which is very, very important, and then you can see the results. But once your inside is clean, I think you're gonna be shown on the outside. So,
Ah,
and at the end of the day, if you go to the doctor, Michael, for anything, the
uh,
doctors will tell you two things: eat properly and exercise. So I wouldn't pay for that. I'll do it. So I keep it away from the doctors. All right. So just love what you do, and look after God temple.
All right. One other comment coming in there before you run off. Ninja, who's the fastest bowler you ever keep up to?
Fucking will ever kept to. Well, there's a lot playing for the West Indies in the 90s. You have the young Ian Bishop, a Cody Ambrose, a Patrick Patterson.
Yeah,
I think Patrick Patterson was probably the quickest and the most deadliest.
yeah, and I
You
think
know, I think
I was looking at some video with the one with Ian Bishop. I think it
yeah,
was.
Ian Bishop was a mean fast bowler, pace and swing. You know, that the Cody Ambrose, they all had my hands swollen after a day's play. I had to get in ice the face the other day. So I think there's a few of them, not only one in particular, but I think they all was 90 plus at the time.
Mhm. And okay, it's coming in now, Junior. I warn you that I know it's time, but um, don't understand why some were given the impression that Brian and Junior were runaway, not runaway, runway playboys on West Indies team with such dietary discipline. In terms, you know, um, and he's making a good point there in terms of that discipline in terms of your folks during your era, I should say, in particular, less injury, as we will say, and it was probably more on fitness than anything else. Um, a story is now adding to it now that many ex-players give it to Patrick Patterson in terms of, the fast bowling, I'm talking about. But in terms of the fitness, Murray, in terms of those ex-players. And, Clev made mention of, Brian Lara, there's Junior Murray, there's Patrick Patterson, as Toro is making there. You spoke about Ian Bishop, these guys was pacers, fast bowlers. And somehow they were able to maintain that level of fitness for quite a while. These days, a fast bowler probably bowling 3, 4, 5 overs and then they hold up because for some reason they're injured. What it took, Murray, during your time with these guys that ensured that they could have stayed on the field sometime for an entire test match and for an entire series.
Yeah, I think those guys at the time looked after themselves because I know at least for instance Courtney Walsh and Ian Bishop, those guys will do the extra work. No one have to tell them to run laps. No one have to tell them to do anything. They will do it because I think the way they want to perform, they want to keep the performance at a very high level, represent the West Indies very well. So you're looking after yourself. You don't have to have a whip on your back to tell you to go there, Junior. Run extra laps. Get to the ground an hour before. You know, you have to go back to the hotel with the team bus. You can stay back, do extra work, take a taxi, or even drive back to the hotel. So I think as you come back to the word pride again, and the passion for what they do, that the extra work those guys put in, it paid off. At least Courtney Wall was a guy that always in the gym, always doing his extra work. And Courtney Wall was a workhorse. Cody Ambrose was not a man that does a lot of work, but he was a rhythm bowler, and he just loved bowling for West Indies and just love, want to the will to win, want to win. So we'll do anything at any cost so that we will be on top of the world on the world stage. And that's the reason why I think that we stayed up there for such a long period of time.
And as a wicketkeeper at the time, Junior, you got a sort of bird's eye view of all that's happening on the field. In fact, it's one position where you have the opportunity to look all over, all wrong. And, and probably at times, I don't know if you did that, probably give instructions, give directions, because you are behind the wicket. You've seen, so much at that point in time.
Yeah, I
What?
think so. Yeah, I think I was at an advantage point. At least I made my contribution. I help here and there with probably a bit of field placing. Probably I might see a batsman, some fault in the batsman. I might give a bit of advice to the captain here and there, and so that we can get a batsman out as quickly as possible. So I think it's a rule that you don't want to be say the role of the captain, but I think you're in a position whereby you can see everything, see most of what's happening on the field. If a fielder is out of position, you can give the captain a bit of advice here and there. And it's something I can see now that most of the keepers are doing right now. They're playing a big role in the field placing, or have a look at the batsman, see how he's batting, and give a bit of advice here and there to the bowler to see where we can conquer the batsman.
Mhm. Mind me smiling there. Just reading some of the comments before we get off. Torres saying, I believe lack of fitness is a major downfall of West Indies cricket. Fellas like Roberts used to play almost all day for 5 tests and never had injuries. You have some young fellas today, they bowl 10 overs in 1 test and they have to sit out the second test because of injury. And then Shannon Gabriel always limping, cramping, and icing space. It's sort of hilarious at times. You have to read it and laugh, But these are guys who are actually watching the game, so they know what they're seeing. But yeah, you're making a very important point there, Junior, in terms of being in an advantageous position as a wicket keeper and providing to some extent your input. And do you think ultimately it provides you a leadership position in the team?
Yeah, I think so. I think at least if you know I captain Grenada team for a bit too. I captain Women Islands team, I captain local team. So I think it helped me a lot to be a leader, to give advice here and there, and like I said before, I can see the younger keepers now doing that now on the international stage, on the world stage now, doing that now and playing a significant role, behind the stump. Not only to catch the ball all day or bend down all day, but I think to give advice to the captain whereby we can get batsmen out as quickly as possible.
Okay. Junior, so let's take a wrap on that now. And I must make mention of something I mentioned to you that I was really impressed with last week. You were doing some commentary, cricket commentary, and it was nice hearing Junior doing. And my suggestion to you is probably you should continue doing some more of that. It was refreshing.
Well,
Yes, Junior doing
probably something I can think about. I don't really like the fun stage, but I think it's something I can think about doing. And probably you never know, you might hear me on the regional level, international level. You never know. So given the chance, I probably might hear me again on the weekend.
Yeah,
God
well,
willing.
I was impressed with what I heard, and I had to go back and get the tape and actually listen to it.
I,
And
I think they had to pull me up there. I didn't really want to go.
yeah, well, that was
Mr.
good.
Kuni was on my back,
Yeah,
and the president was on my back. So I had to go up there and do my thing and see what I got to say and big up the GCA for what they're doing and continue to do a good job for local cricket.
well, I'm giving you the opportunity the last say to give a plug to the weekend's game, St. George versus St. Mark.
Well, I hope I might not have to go to the box because I might be playing on Saturday. I might have to defeat I will defeat St. Mark's, and then on the Sunday on the finals, I'll be giving my team a bit of advice here and there. So I might not be in the box, so and given a chance, probably I'll go up there.
Okay, then, and there's someone saying thank you for mentoring Preston McSween and advocating Junior Murray to be fitness trainer for West Indies seniors. you know, yeah.
That's some big jobs, Funny enough, this afternoon, we're training the volcanoes, and Devon and I were sitting in the room, and we were talking about the days when we were playing together when he came as a youngster, and we were there, we were all of us were there, we grew up together playing and representing Grenada, so and the love for and the love how we are still doing. I think we all played for 19 years. I played for 20. I think Devon is on the 21st year. So, and I hope that it can go on a bit more, But we were just, going back on our playing days and the fun we had and playing for Grenada, playing for One Islands, and playing for West Indies. So it's just a love, and I hope that probably some of the other guys down the road probably can do the same thing.
Okay, then. What a nice way to end that, Junior. And giving John a last say, he said, let's get that CPL team going. We'll do a lot for Grenada.
I think so. I think so, Mikey. I think once you get some lights in the stadium, I think I'm gonna talk to the boss a bit more, so we can get some more. Have a greater CPL team, get some more games in Grenada, and we can promote Grenada. I think sport has done a lot for Grenada. We have a lot of athletes that really put Grenada on the map. The Kirani, the Devon, the Royal, the Junior, the Preston, even Preston now. So I think we need to take sports at a different level. We need to take sports a bit more serious. Because I think sports is doing a lot for our country, and a lot of people are coming to Grenada not because of the carnival and the jab, but I think because of what we the sports people have done for our country and how we have represented our country very well.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Junior. It has been a pleasure. And folks, just to let you know that Junior was originally scheduled for Saturday, but because of that very important game that's coming up on Saturday, that he agreed to shift to Thursday. And Ashley Ram folks will return on Saturday to finish up his program from the last time there. So thank you very much, Junior. I really appreciate you being on.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me. Thank you to all my fans over there, all my friends. It's a pleasure. And I hope I'll see you all soon again when all this COVID thing is done. I hope that we can come back to Grenada and have a good time, go to the beach, go to the waterfalls, and enjoy our country once again. So thank you again, Michael. It's a pleasure being here, and it's really a joy to give my little story about my cricket career and
Okay,
what
then.
I've done for my country. Thank you.
All right, and thank you very much. That's Junior Murray there, and of course, you can follow the weekend's game on the Grenada Cricket Association Facebook page. They will have a live stream in there. St. George versus St. Mark coming up on Saturday, and the winner takes on St. David in the final on Sunday. All the matches being played at the Grenada Cricket Stadium, and I'm telling you what we've seen last week between St. Patrick and St. David, even though it was a low scoring encounter, the bowlers from St. David really they were out. Ryan John, Neelan Pascal, and I'm certain that this weekend shouldn't be any different with St. George versus St. Mark, and especially with both teams have in their lineup as well some members of the Volcanoes franchise team. So if you cannot make it to the stadium, because obviously because of social distancing, etc., you can watch the action live online because the Grenada Cricket Association will be streaming that. So once again, thank you for viewing, and don't forget to join us on Saturday, the Saturday Sports Special, where our guest will be Ashley Ramfolks from 1 p.m. Until then, stay positive and you stay negative.